It was a rainy Tuesday evening in Shanghai when the world seemed to pause for a moment. The trending hashtags on Weibo shot up like a meteor shower. Hashtag Wang Yibo confesses. Hashtag Zhan truth revealed. Hashtag Wang Yibo and Xiao Zhan. Fans froze mid-scroll, jaws dropped, and the virtual world trembled with anticipation. For years, rumors had swirled around Wang Yibo and Xiao Zhan. Were they just co-stars? Best friends? Or was there a deeper, hidden bond that the world wasn't ready for? Well, the wait was finally over. At exactly 11:11 p.m., Wang Yibo went live on his official Douyin account. No flashy background, no brand endorsements, just him in a dimly lit studio with raw emotion in his eyes. "Tonight," he began, voice slightly shaking, "I want to stop running from the truth." Within 5 minutes, over 28 million viewers had joined the live broadcast. He exhaled deeply, as if he'd been holding his breath for years. "I've been silent not because I'm ashamed, but because I was scared. But the truth deserves daylight." Silence fell. Then he said it. "Xiao Zhan is not just someone I acted with. He's someone who's become the heartbeat behind everything I do." The internet shattered. Rewinding to the set of The Untamed, insiders had often whispered about the unusual chemistry between the two leads. It wasn't just acting, it was electric. One assistant director revealed in an anonymous interview, there was this scene where they were just supposed to stare at each other for 3 seconds. But they kept going. 10, 15, 20 seconds. No one said cut. Everyone on set just watched, frozen. In between takes, the two were often spotted whispering jokes, sharing headphones, or sneaking out late for bubble tea runs. But the public only saw what was shown on screen, until now. Yibo shocked everyone further when he confessed that during the height of the pandemic, he and Xiao Zhan quarantined together, not as roommates, but as partners. "I remember that winter in Beijing," he said during the live. "There was a snowstorm. We had no electricity for 2 days. We sat by candlelight and just talked. It was the first time I told him I loved him." Fans immediately began tracing social media clues. Matching lamps, the same coffee mugs, backgrounds, and mirror selfies, and realized they had seen it all, yet never seen it. One fan posted a thread titled, "The Signs Were Always There," that hit 10 million retweets in a day. Just when everyone thought they couldn't take any more shocks, Xiao Zhan suddenly entered the live stream. Wearing a gray hoodie and that signature shy smile, he looked directly into the camera. "I told him not to do this live," he said with a soft chuckle. "But now that it's started, I might as well tell my side." Yibo turned to him, visibly emotional. "Are you sure?" he whispered. Zhan nodded. "Let's finish what we started." He took a deep breath and continued. "I fell in love with Yibo not because he's a celebrity or an idol. I fell in love with him because of who he is when the cameras are off. He once drove across the city at 3 a.m. just to bring me warm congee when I had the flu. No fan ever knew. No paparazzi caught it. And he never even posted about it." The chat exploded. "This is real love. I'm crying. Zhan is endgame." Across the globe, fans hosted spontaneous Zhan celebration lives. People lit candles, uploaded tribute videos, and even Chinese skyscrapers displayed LED messages. Asterisk love wins. Congratulations, Yibo and Zhan. Asterisk in Seoul, Tokyo, and Manila, LED trucks played clips of their old interviews together, subtly reinterpreted now with the truth unveiled. One fan said, "I used to ship them for fun, but now, knowing it was real all along, I feel like I've been part of something sacred." The entertainment world was thrown into chaos. Within hours, brands that had previously been neutral suddenly flooded both their Weibo pages with congratulatory posts. From Louis Vuitton to Pepsi China, everyone wanted a piece of the newly revealed power couple. The producer of The Untamed released a statement. "We always knew there was something magical between them. This isn't just good PR, it's a legendary love story." Even Strict State Media gave an unexpectedly warm comment, saying, "Everyone deserves the right to love, regardless of spotlight." In the latter part of the live, Wang Yibo revealed something else, something intimate. He pulled out a folded, slightly yellowed piece of paper. This is the letter Xiao Zhan gave me before the final filming day of The Untamed. I've never shared it with anyone until now. He read aloud. Yibo, we may be acting as soulmates on screen, but part of me believes we already are off screen too. If this world allows, I hope we can be more than fiction someday. Zhan. The stream fell into silence again. Yibo's hands trembled slightly. I kept it close to my heart for 5 years, he said, and now the world knows why. The stream ended not with a goodbye, but with a cinematic, impromptu rooftop walk. Xiao Zhan and Wang Yibo, hand in hand, stood at the edge of the rooftop of their shared studio apartment. Behind them, the city lights blinked like a sea of stars. Yibo turned to Zhan and said, "Do you regret this?" Zhan shook his head. "Never. Let them know our truth." Then, in the most surreal moment of all, Xiao Zhan kissed Wang Yibo gently under the moonlight. No music, no filters, just raw, beautiful reality. Screenshots of that kiss flooded social media instantly. By morning, the world had changed. News outlets from CNN to NHK reported on the confession heard around the world. Their management companies released joint statements asking for privacy and respect. But fans already had their answer. From drama co-stars to secret lovers, from whispers in the dark to declarations under the stars, Wang Yibo and Xiao Zhan's story had leaped from rumor to romance, from denial to destiny. And whether or not the world was ready, their truth had finally been set free. The morning after Wang Yibo's livestream confession was unlike any morning the Beijing Film District had ever seen. Crowds had gathered outside the studio gates where Yibo and Xiao Zhan were last seen together. Fans held placards that read, "We always believed, Zhan forever, and love is love." Security scrambled to maintain order, but the atmosphere wasn't angry. It was euphoric. Inside the studio, chaos reigned for a different reason. Yibo's manager burst into the green room, phone glued to his ear. "We've had 7 endorsement offers overnight. Dior wants a couple shoot. Vogue is asking for an exclusive feature. And, get this, Netflix wants to do a documentary." Yibo, seated calmly with his guitar in hand, simply looked up and smiled. "Let's take it slow," he said. This wasn't for the world. It was for him. Later that day, Xiao Zhan posted a single photo on his personal Weibo. It was of a canvas painting, a surreal cityscape with 2 faceless figures standing on a rooftop, hands clasped, surrounded by swirling starlight. Caption: "We once imagined this moment. Now we're living it." Under the post, he tagged Wang Yibo with a simple heart emoji. Fans instantly recognized the scene from the end of the live stream. But what they didn't know was that Xiao Zhan had painted it himself during a secret getaway in Lijiang months before the live stream happened. He had always intended to give it to Yibo on their next anniversary. But now the world had seen it too. The art, just like their love, was no longer hidden. Hashtag Scene 11. The hidden microphone moment. A video began circulating that made fans gasp and cry all over again. It was behind-the-scenes footage from a 2023 award show where Wang Yibo and Xiao Zhan had appeared on the red carpet separately. But a fan with a directional mic had picked up their backstage conversation. In the grainy audio, Yibo's voice could be heard saying, "If only they knew that I only smiled tonight because you're here." Xiao Zhan laughed softly. "We'll tell them one day." That one day had arrived. And that audio clip now had over 89 million views in less than 12 hours. Just when the internet thought the surprises were over, Yibo dropped one final bombshell. A link appeared on his Weibo with no caption. It led to an unreleased demo titled Asterisk, "You Are Light." Asterisk. The lyrics were haunting and heartfelt. "I walked in shadows, afraid to be seen, but you lit a path where I could finally breathe. If I could rewind time, I'd still choose you. Every hidden smile, every unspoken truth." What fans didn't know until the second verse hit was that Xiao Zhan's voice joined in. A duet. They had recorded it months ago, secretly. Now it was out. No PR, no fanfare. Just 2 voices, raw and vulnerable, finally telling the story they'd hidden for years. That night, paparazzi staked out Wang Yibo's known residence, hoping to catch a glimpse of the couple. At 10:05 p.m., lights turned on at the balcony. There they were, Yibo and Zhan, laughing over bowls of noodles, their silhouettes framed against fairy lights and moonshine. No fancy suits, no designer wear, just two people being themselves. And then, in a moment that melted the hearts of millions, Yibo reached across the table, brushed a noodle off Zhan's lip, and leaned in. The photo went viral. Headline screamed, asterisk, they're not acting anymore. Asterisk, asterisk, this is real. Asterisk, asterisk, Zhan lives happily ever after, and we're here for it. Asterisk. As fans dug deeper, old interviews resurfaced, now seen in an entirely new light. In a 2020 backslash and Wang Yibo had been asked what kind of person he'd marry. His answer? Someone who understands silence. Someone who knows how to see me, not just look at me. Xiao Zhan, in a 2021 fan meet, had joked, there's only one person who can beat me at racing games. I won't say who, but he knows. Now, fans replayed those clips with tears in their eyes. It had always been about each other. Later, a source close to both actors revealed that before going live that night, Yibo and Zhan had exchanged private vows in their apartment. Not legally binding, but spiritually eternal. Xiao Zhan had whispered, no matter what happens tomorrow, whether the world praises us or punishes us, this moment is ours. Yibo replied, I'd rather walk through fire with you than live in comfort with anyone else. Those words, though not caught on camera, became fan tributes, tattoo inspirations, and even lyrics for new fan-composed songs. The Zhan fandom was no longer a dream. It had become a movement. Their story was no longer built on speculation and fanfiction. It was real. A love letter written in glances, guarded interviews, late-night phone calls, and songs that were never meant to be released. Now the walls were down. The closet was open. The truth was singing. And through it all, Wang Yibo and Xiao Zhan stood not as idols, but as human beings who chose love over fear, truth over image, and each other over everything else.